Hood hack for the boys, right? This is about choosing your trap mobile, choosing the car that you're going to be delivering bags in, right? So, I don't know fucking anything about cars, but there's some things that I can recognize about cars. And that means if I can recognize them, they're too distinct and too recognizable, right? So, yellow reg, don't do that. L plate, M plate, don't do that. Tinted windows, don't do that. Fucking bright colors like blue, fucking red, don't do that, right? What you want is just a plain ass grey car with an Irish reg, no L plate, no tinted windows. Because then it's like, me, if I see you do a crime in that and I'm ratting on you to the Garda, I'm just going to be able to say it's a grey car. But if you have a mad identifiable car, I'd be able to say, yeah, it's red, it has a yellow reg, tinted windows and an L plate. So you want your car to be indistinguishable to punters that don't know anything about cars. Right, here's a hood hack for the boys, right? Let's say your friend is introducing you to their friend. So you just have one mutual in common, but you ultimately don't know this cunt at all. He's a friend of a friend, so you don't know him. And it's always mad awkward in those situations. What I like to do, right? I lay low, keep it quiet, wait for my friend and his friend to get into some sort of a disagreement. It could be about something minor. And then I side against whatever my mate is saying and side with the dude that I barely know. And then me and him gang up on my mate. And it's a bonding exercise. Even if I don't agree with what he's saying, that's what I like to do. Every time a mate introduces me to one of their mates, I'll wait for an opportunity for both of us to gang up on and bully my friend. So the OG fans will remember, I have this little thing that I put my pre-rolls in, a little box thing, right? But I was putting some filters in it, and they were ever so slightly too big. They were one filter too big to fit in the box. So what I done, I just smoked the first filter out of every strip so that they would fit in the box. Hood hacks for life, S.P.A. Krumpit is the GOAT. What's happening, gang? Welcome to another hood hack. Today I'm going to be telling you how to get out of a scrap, how to get out of a fight. If things have gotten out of hand, they've gone awry, you're about to get slapped up. Here's how you avoid conflict and de-escalate the violence levels of that situation, right? So a lot of people will tell you to use the old tried and true method of pretending that you're crazy to get out of a fight. The other fella be intimidated and scared. Doesn't always work. So what I do, I put a spin on it. I act like I'm insane, but in an incredibly homoerotic way. So it's like he starts squaring up to you, you spread your legs, you're like, go on, swing a kick at my balls, bro. See how hard it makes me. Go on, slap me in the nipples. See how erect they are. Pure spin around, stick your arse at him. Go on, swing a kick, man. See how aroused it makes me. Do you know what I mean? And they're just gonna be confused. That's the ultimate way to win a fight, is just confuse the opponent before the fight starts and then escape. Here's a hood hack for the boys about having inconspicuous contacts in your phones, right? If you have a whole bunch of different plugs and you have like a whole bunch of random names, or you just like plug emoji or leaf emoji, whatever, that's sus, right? But what I do is I always save them as female names, because you never expect a drug dealer to be a woman. If someone's going through that, they'd be like, oh, he's just got bare hoes. They wouldn't be thinking that he's a bare drug addict. Do you know what I mean? All the ones in my phone, all the plugs, they're named after the women in Mambo number 5. So a little bit of Erica, a little bit of Rita, etc. What's happening? It's me, S.P.A. Krumpit, once again with another hood hack. This one, right? So the budget is actually happening. Typically in Ireland, the budget happens in October every year. It's happening early this year. It's happening like fucking next week. And typically every time the budget happens, the cost of tobacco products go up by like €1. So what I do now, right, if I were you, I'd bulk buy a lot of tobacco, but the ones that are just underneath €20, right? So there's some that are like €19.80, yeah? Get a bulk buy a whole shitload of them, right? And then they're going to go up to like €20.50 next week. And then you can sell them all off for 20 quid each. You make a tiny little bit of profit off of each individual packet, but if you buy enough in bulk, you're going to be a millionaire. So fuck the government, fuck the doll. You know those big fuck off Josies that they try your chicken fillet roll on and get the little sticker telling you what weight the roll is? I wonder, has anyone ever robbed one of them for doing out the pack? That's not a hood hack, I'm not suggesting you do that, I'm just wondering, has it happened? Here's a hood hack for the boys, right? Some people out there, you might be thinking about getting some menthol filters for your rollies, you know, the little tips that are minty. I would recommend against that 100%. Till my dying breath, I would never recommend anyone get mint filters for their fucking rollies, right? What I'd recommend doing instead of buying those mint filters, those menthol filters, just get a packet of chewing gum, chew a chewing gum while you're having a rollie, and you'll realise the sensation of burning smoke mixed with cooling minty freshness is actually rotten, and I don't want to do this anymore. What's up, homeowners? Welcome to another hood hack. This one's going out directly to people who are worried and anxious and afraid about the massive increase in cost of living in Ireland, particularly in terms of heating and electricity. It's getting to a point where people are afraid that they're not going to be able to keep warm this winter. So Big Daddy Krumpit is here to just relay all your anxieties to rest. I'm here to just tell you that you do not have to be worried anymore. There's a very simple and easy solution to keeping your house warm this winter. And that's very simple and easy, straightforward hood hack solution is witchcraft, bro. All you need is a cauldron, a live chicken, and the blood of a virginal widow. Throw all of that shit in, double bubble boiling trouble, shit fucking burning green hot eternal flame will shoot out of that motherfucker, and you can all sit around there and warm your hands and toast marshmallows and whatever the fuck else. So yeah, witchcraft is real. Hood hacks for life. Someone do something about that cost of living crisis. I think that's it's not cool. You know, in some ways, internet sketch comedy has gotten better throughout the years. In some ways, it's improved and evolved. And in some ways, it has not changed at all. This one piece of shorthand I find to be hilarious. If you want to play a woman part in your sketch and you're a man, you just slap a towel on your head. Boom, look at me. I'm ready to play a woman in a viral hit internet sketch right now. Look, that's what a woman looks like. You just have a towel on your head and you're a woman. We still do that since the last 25 years. Here's a hood hack for the boys, right? This one's how you spot undies, aka plain clothes, aka undercover Garda, right? Their vehicular choices have gotten smarter, and it's become more difficult to spot them in the cars these days. They used to all drive Ford Mondeos, but now, like, there's different varieties of cars. Sometimes they have those sun visors up that you use to protect your children from the heat, so they're getting slick with it. But some telltale signs, right? When they open their mouth, you're going to be able to tell, right? They're always going to be bog-dwelling, muck savage cultures. Obviously, that goes without saying. They're going to ask for drugs, generally. Not a specific drug, just drugs, because that's just such a natural way to phrase it. So that's a telltale sign. They might say smoke as well, which is a little bit more of a common thing to say, but they'll give it away when they say I need a 50 bit or I need a 25 bit instead of bag. Bit. Again, very, very good phrasing. They're always going to want you to incriminate someone else as well. Because if you're like, nah, mate, I don't do drugs, mate, they'd be like, right, do you have a number of someone who does? And you're like, yeah, mate, here's my ma's number. She sells Bobby Brown. Here's a little hood hack for the boys, right? What I'd recommend doing, right? Everyone likes a bit of JPS tobacco, a bit of JPB, whatever tobacco for the Jeffs. Nobody likes amber leaf from the Jeffs, yes. What I do is get a little empty amber leaf pouch, one of the little tiny sealable ones, put your JPS in that before you go out smoking, and then the boys be like, any back, you whip out the little amber leaf here and be like, yeah, I have a bit of ambo, and they're like, yeah, get that out in your face. Works as well if you have those weird foreign packets of tobacco. Just, yeah, throw people off guard, just hide the fact that you got that good John Player shit. Don't be sharing that with nobody. That's hood hacks for life, S.P.A. Krumpit. Here's a hood hack for the boys, right? Let's say you're renting a place and there's a stipulation in the lease that says no pets allowed, right? And landlord's coming over for a visit, but you have a dog. The dog is in the house. A lot of chumps, a lot of little pussy ass bitches, what they're going to do is send the dog down to like their mate's gaff or send the young fella out to walk the dog when the landlord is there. That's what you do if you're a coward. What I do is I leave the dog in the house. When he shows up and goes, you have a dog. You go, no, that's my son. And he'd be like, very funny. You're like, no, I'm not making a joke. I'm not talking about a fur baby. That is a human being with a skin condition. How dare you be so ableist? And then your landlord will apologise and you're allowed to keep the dog for life. So on buses in Dublin, there's a lot of different things that can happen. There can be ruffians, rapscallions causing a bit of ruckus. Do you know what I mean? There can be people doing drugs on the bus. There can be people having physical fights, having loud disagreements. There can be people doing some explicit things on there, women going into labour, right? My hood hack for dealing with any of this shit that you're going to see on public transport in Dublin would be disassociate, zone out of the physical realm from the reality of the place in which you currently are in. What I would recommend you just do is just either stare out the window, stare at your shoes, or stare at your phone. This is why every time you're getting on public transport, you want earbuds that are a bright colour, that are prominent, or big headphones on your head so that you can act like you can't hear the shit.